Welcome to Bloomington Today. I'm Kaylin Cockrell. Thanks for joining us. Bloomington Human Services has been doing what they can to spread holiday joy for more than a decade. Take a look at how the city shares the holiday spirit. For the last 14 years, Bloomington-based law firm Larkin Hoffman has served the city's Human Services Division by helping raise funds for a program called Holiday Joy. The staff puts together a bake sale of epic proportion. Cookies, cakes, pies, and pastries, you name it, they're selling it.
The money that goes to the Holiday Joy campaign goes towards providing some holiday goodies and needs for mentally and physically challenged adults in the community that don't get any other aid. So we do this so that they can have a joyous season too.
This year, Larkin Hoffman's bake sale raised a total of $1,100. Of that amount, $600 was donated to Holiday Joy, and the remaining $500 went to Bloomington Veep. Bringing the firm together and giving back to the community isn't the only thing employees can take from the Holiday Joy fundraiser. They also have incentive to indulge their sweet tooth and even try their hand at baking.
We try to decide where our best efforts could be put forth, and we found that we have lots of bakers.
I made some spritz cookies today, and this was actually my first year baking as well. So usually I buy. Today I baked and I bought some too.
Larkin Hoffman's bake sale is just one of many contributors that make Holiday Joy possible. On December 7th, the Civic Plaza's lunchroom transformed into a donation center for Holiday Joy, as Human Services asked City of Bloomington employees for any amount of cash or check donations, and in return, they received a freshly popped bag of popcorn and a drink. This was sponsored by the Employee Advisory Committee. Human Services Program Coordinator Carrie Stone says helping coordinate Holiday Joy is a joy in itself each year.
It's a really neat opportunity to raise the spirits and say happy holidays to some people that might not hear that anywhere else or may not get that special warm feeling. It's like getting a gift from a personal friend when we bring it to them.
This year, the Holiday Joy campaign will give a Target gift card to 46 individuals in hopes that their holiday season will be a bit brighter than it may have been otherwise. And when Human Services isn't spreading holiday joy, they're assisting Bloomington Veep with its holiday toy store. If you live in, work in, or visit Bloomington, odds are you've seen the Veep collection bins, and once the collection is over, the work really begins. Take a look. Since mid-November, volunteers enlisted to assist people, or Veep, has been busy collecting toys at various locations throughout Edina, Richfield, and Bloomington. And in mid-December, staff was working in overdrive to unload, sort, and stock toys of all shapes and sizes for their annual holiday toy store.
Veep is serving our families in Bloomington, Edina, Richfield, and a corner of South Minneapolis with a holiday program this year. Anyone with a child 0 to 18 is going to receive a gift, some winterwear items, books, and family games, as well as we're going to give them a gift card to go to the grocery store and purchase a holiday meal.
Donations are made up of new items, age-specific, ranging from newborns all the way to age 18. And in the past several years, Veep has been doing this campaign. Phillips says residents continue to show overwhelming support.
We have been very fortunate that the community has always stepped forward, so any family that has signed up for our program by the registration deadline has been served. And so we've never had to turn a family away who has signed up because we didn't have enough toys. And so we're looking at 5,000 kids this year. That's 5,000 presents. That's 2,000 households. That's 2,000 games. 10,000 pairs of mittens and gloves and hats.
And as the holidays approach, Veep representatives gear up for the toy distribution, where all of these toys being sorted will find new homes with families and children that may not have been able to put a gift under the tree this year.
The holidays are a difficult time, but they're an important time. And so I really believe Veep continues to do this because we have a community that comes forward and says, holidays and traditions are important, and we want to make sure that anybody can have that celebration in their family and keep the traditions alive.
If you missed this opportunity to donate for the holiday gift program, don't worry. Veep accepts toy donations year-round. They also collect food and monetary donations for those who are able. And Veep is always looking for volunteers to simply donate their time. And if you're a resident looking for new and exciting ways to stay active this winter, maybe pickleball is just the way for you to do that. As a part of the city's Do Town initiative, a campaign where Bloomington, Edina, and Richfield joined forces with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Minnesota to promote active, healthy lifestyles in their communities, we're bringing you the first of many to-do list segments. Here we'll take a look at various ways to keep a healthy mind and body. Let's see what's on this week's to-do list. We've been following the local pickleballers for some time now. From the dedication of the new courts at Westwood Playground this past August to their continued play well into October. Now we'll follow the sports enthusiasts into their new winter digs inside the Bloomington National Guard Armory.
We love these new digs. There's no snow, obviously. A nice even surface. It's a warm, it's a very nice facility. We're glad that Parks and Rec's got it for us. So we're starting our second week and happy as can be.
Pickleball is a sport that combines ping pong, badminton, and tennis. But the larger paddle and wiffle ball takes some of the stress out of players' knees, making it a low-impact activity perfect for the aging population or people with past leg injuries. First, let's take a look at the equipment used in pickleball. Well, now John is going to tell us a bit about what kind of equipment we use to play pickleball. John, kind of looks like a ping pong racket, but it's not.
No, it's bigger than a ping pong paddle. The rackets are pretty much uniform size. They have controlled dimensions, so there's not much variation. They can be made out of a lot of materials: wood, graphite, composite.
So that's the paddle. Tell us a bit about the ball that pickleball is played with.
The ball is a wiffle ball. There's different choices. This particular one is mostly called an indoor ball, has larger holes, and is softer and slower than an outdoor ball.
Next, on to serving. Well, now the start to the game and one of the key components is obviously the serve. John, show me how I serve in pickleball.
All right. The serve has to be hit below the waist and in an upward motion. It's a little different than other games.
Okay. And we're aiming for the opposite square, is that correct? Just like tennis?
Yes.
Now that I've had my lesson, I'm ready to try my hand at a real pickleball match. Go easy on me, guys. Is that in?
Yeah.
There we go. Come on, John, up top. Barbara says the group is out at the Armory several days a week and everyone is encouraged to come try out pickleball for themselves.
We play here from 10:30 until 1:30 or even later, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And anyone is welcome to join. We have loaner equipment and we're more than willing to help give lessons, beginner's lessons in a group or one at a time, whatever they'd like to try.
And while I may not have won my first pickleball match, I sure had fun trying it out. Several players noted that they were very grateful to City Parks and Recreation staff for their efforts in getting the group indoors for the winter and taping off their play area. And if the pickleball courts don't seem like something you'd be into, why not try ice skating? The Bloomington Ice Garden Skate School is looking for students of all ages and abilities to join one of the many upcoming winter classes. From beginners ages 3 to 6 all the way up to adults aging 15 and up, Bloomington Ice Garden has skating lessons for you. The next session starts the first week of January and runs through mid-February. Depending on level, the class times vary and the cost per session is $70. Instructors ask that residents come 15 minutes early with properly fitting, sharpened skates and warm, comfortable clothing. To obtain a registration form, visit the city's website. Keyword search BIG or call the Bloomington Ice Garden at 952-563-8842. The city also maintains 14 outdoor rinks if residents are looking to do some skating outside this winter. Now it's time for a short break. When we come back, we'll feature another pet project segment with Animal Control Officer Jay Young. Stay right here.
For the trees on our street.
At my campground.
In my woods.
For the trees in my backyard.
I promise.
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 We promise to not move firewood.
Because the emerald ash borer beetle could be inside.
I've seen what he can do to trees.
I won't be the one to spread the beetle.
Friends don't let friends move firewood.
I won't move it from my backyard to my cabin.
Or bring it home from camping.
I won't take it here or there. I won't take it anywhere.
I'll only buy it where I'm gonna burn it.
Or buy it from my local guys.
I promise.
For the ashwood in my guitar.
For the love of the game.
The wood stays put.
I promise not to spread the beetle.
For the trees in my state.
In mine.
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 In America.
We promise to not move firewood.
We have the power
to stop the beetle.
Join us at stopthebeetle.info.
Welcome back to Bloomington Today. We are now joined by Animal Control Officer Jay Young. Welcome to the show, Jay.
Thank you for having me.
Well, yeah. Well, you know, whether we like it or not, winter is here. And there are a few rules and regulations we'd like to remind residents about when it comes to the safety of their animals during the cooler months. Why don't you start by telling us about the Minnesota state statute that is in place regarding pets and outdoor shelters?
Sure, I'd love to. Minnesota State Statute 34740, it runs from November 1st through March 31st, and that states that if you have an animal that's going to be sheltered outside, you have to provide an adequate doghouse for it. It has to have adequate shelter and insulation in order to retain the dog's body heat. It also has to have a windproof flap in order to provide wind protection for the dog. So dogs that are outside during the winter months while you're either at work or away for the day, they need to meet those requirements.
Okay. And, you know, while a bowl of water may last all day outside, depending on how thirsty your dog is during the summertime months, that's not the case in the winter. Food and water needs to be checked regularly, correct?
It does. It needs to be checked regularly, and the dog has to have liquid water available to it at all times. And the reason for that is when dogs eat snow or ice, it can drop the body temperature, which can lead into pre-hypothermia. And so for that reason, if the dogs are outside, they need to have a heated water dish if you're not able to keep that water liquid.
Okay. So I can understand how some people would say, oh, well, there's plenty of snow to eat, but that actually changes the dynamic of your dog's health.
It can, absolutely. And so for that reason, they are required to have liquid water, and we do try and enforce that.
Okay. Well, your pet's feet are susceptible to some irritation being outdoors, whether it's even to go for a walk or if they're staying outdoors. How can you protect your pet from some problems with the pads of their paws?
Well, dogs' paws are one of the most susceptible things that they have to the elements. Obviously, when you're walking your dog out on the streets, we have the roadway salt, which is very corrosive to the dog's feet. So we want you to walk your dog and keep it well exercised along with yourself. When you get home, it's a very good preventive measure to rinse the dog's feet and then dry them off. Now at home, you can obviously go to, there's several pet stores in Bloomington and the surrounding areas that have pet-friendly pet-friendly salt for the dog's feet, and you can apply that to your property, and then you don't have to rinse the dog's feet as much when you're at home.
Okay, all right. And as it's getting colder out, you and I were speaking about how cars can often leak antifreeze due to the colder temperatures. Talk about the problem that can arise with a pet.
Well, in the winter, especially in Minnesota climates, when it gets extremely cold, there's contraction. And due to contraction, a lot of times cars will leak antifreeze, especially in the driveway or the garage. Antifreeze has a very sweet smell to it, which attracts dogs. And if dogs ingest antifreeze, it can cause liver damage or failure, and actually dogs succumb to it. So for that reason, if you see any antifreeze, you want to get it cleaned up and get whatever repairs to your vehicle necessary to keep that from happening.
Okay, so regularly checking the garage floors or the floors of the driveway.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, the holiday season is rapidly approaching, and that means a lot of people's houses are full of decorations and good food. Talk a bit about the danger that can pose for your pet, whether it's dog or cat.
Okay. Well, the decorations, especially the lighting, can attract cats who will chew or nibble on the cords. That can become a fire hazard. So for that reason, certainly want to enjoy the holidays, but do be mindful and watch the pets while that activity is taking place.
What about the meals that you're serving? Do you have bones of animals, turkey legs, or are we supposed to kind of let the pets have their holiday treat, or is that?
Well, and we leave that up to the individual pet owner. However, you do want to exercise care because a lot of the treats that you might give a dog or cat can become ingested or have bones, splinters, things like that. So best rule of thumb, and probably what most veterinarians are going to tell you, is to feed the normal food and just forego the treats. If you are going to do a treat, use a pet appropriate treat from the pet store to avoid any issues.
Okay, and then finally chocolate. We hear it a lot that chocolate is very dangerous for dogs, and people have decorative vases of chocolates and things around their house this time of year. What pose does chocolate actually? Chocolate
can be very harmful to a dog. Okay. Both milk chocolate and dark chocolate. However, the dark chocolate's being more harmful to a dog.
Okay.
For that reason, if you can keep the chocolates up on the counter in locked containers away from the animals to avoid any issues, well, that would be recommended.
Because they'll find a way if
they
want
find
it
a way.
And they smell it and they see it. Okay, well, this is the part of the Pet Project segment that we would normally have an animal on to present to the public, but I guess it's kind of a good thing. We don't have one today, meaning there's no pet available for adoption at this time, which is a good thing.
It is really a good thing.
But how can residents, when you do have animals available for adoption at the Bloomington Animal Shelter, get in touch with you and find out what those animals are?
Sure. We have residents that call quite frequently, and we welcome the phone calls as well as the foot traffic into the shelter. We get people that stop daily. Along with that, you can log on to the city's website, www.ci.bloomington.mn.us, and if you click on keyword animal shelter, we have a list of available pets. You can also put your email in the e-subscribe, and every time an animal's posted online for adoption, you automatically get an email alert. It allows you to do it from the comfort of your own home if you're looking for an animal.
Great. And then one other thing that we'd like to touch on, when people are adopting animals, it's very important that they're being adopted out into what we call forever homes. Talk a bit about kind of the commitment that people are making when they are adopting an animal.
And we try and go through that with everybody that comes through the door. Obviously, we get a wide range of ages and a wide range of people, and we try and have people do the pre-checks that are going to ensure that the animal is going to be a success in your home. You need to think about children. You need to think about your living arrangement. If you're in an apartment, have you asked the management, are you allowed to have a dog? If you're allowed to have a dog or a cat, is it the proper size? And then is it going to be the proper breed for you? Are you looking for more of a sedentary animal or a younger puppy that's going to enable you to run and play with it, and it's going to be a very energetic dog? So by trying to fit the proper animal in the proper home, we're looking for forever homes and forever relationships.
Wonderful. Well, we'd like to thank Animal Control Officer Jay Young for being here with us today. It's now time for a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Bloomington Today. The weather outside is cooling fast, and in an effort to make sure their car is not, people are starting up their cars and walking inside. Bloomington Police would like to offer residents a friendly reminder about the increased potential of auto thefts during the winter, largely due to residents unaware of the city's open ignition ordinance.
Bloomington does have an open ignition ordinance, and that makes it illegal to have the keys in the car or in the ignition while the car is running. Now, if you have the doors locked and the car is running, that would be legal. So what we see is some people are leaving their cars to warm up before they go somewhere when it's cold out, and if they don't have the vehicle locked, that would be a violation of the city ordinance. And that's also why we're seeing some of these cars stolen. So we want people to be in compliance with the ordinance, but more than that, we want it locked so their car doesn't get stolen.
Elliott says the theft increase during the colder months are simply a crime of opportunity, and the only way to protect yourself is to know the laws and abide by them. Leaving valuables like GPSs, cell phones, and gym bags in your vehicle is also discouraged, as that brings unwanted attention to your vehicle. Elliott says remote starters are in compliance of the open ignition ordinance for 2 reasons. The keys are not inside the vehicle, and the vehicle cannot be driven without them, and the doors can remain locked when the car is started. This past fall, City Council approved a renovation project at the Bloomington Family Aquatic Center. Now we'll take a look at the progress made after a few months of work. The scene at Bloomington Family Aquatic Center hardly looks like it did back in August. And after deciding this 30-plus-year-old bathhouse needed a makeover, things are starting to take shape at the Aquatic Center's bathhouse, just a few months into construction. Right now, crews are working on removing the floors to expose old pipes that need replacing, and the interior walls have been taken down to allow for the construction of a new hallway that will allow direct access to the pool without having to go through a locker room. An opening in the ceiling has been made to bring natural light through a skylight, and the first aid room now has exterior walls. The bathhouse is expected to be completed in May prior to the Aquatic Center opening for the 2012 season. Are you a potential first-time home buyer? Bloomington's Housing and Redevelopment Authority are inviting residents to join them for another workshop, sure to take some of the uneasiness out of making this potentially life-changing purchase. Start your home ownership process by attending the Home Stretch Home Buyer Workshop, offered by the Community Action Partnership of Suburban Hennepin. This seminar will explore issues like how to shop for a home, inspections, and legal rights of owning a home, plus many more. Join experts on Saturday, January 6th at Bloomington Civic Plaza from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Registration is online and easy. Log on to the city's website and keyword search Home Stretch. Click option 2, Buying a Home, and scroll down to the link under One-Day Workshop. Individual counseling is available after the workshop is completed to interested potential homebuyers. Now it's time for another In the Loop segment. Today we'll find out what the Mall of America is doing to not only boost holiday cheer, but ease what can be stressful parking dilemmas around the shopping center by celebrating the 12 days of parking. From now until Christmas Eve, the Mall of America is reserving 12 front row parking spaces for the 12 days leading up to the holiday. To be one of the lucky 12, simply like the Mall of America's Facebook page or follow them on Twitter. Mall representatives will use the social media sites to direct people on how to win a primo parking space using various challenges each day. In addition to hassle-free front row parking, you'll receive a $25 mall gift card as well. And if you'll be frequenting the South Loop area in the next couple of weeks, be sure to pay close attention to the recently added wayfinding signs around the area. They'll inform motorists the easiest and quickest ways to get to your destinations and also clue you in on what areas to avoid because of increased traffic. And that's all the time we have for today. To get more information on city projects, parks, road construction, and events, visit the city's website. To check out past episodes of Bloomington Today or other city productions, visit Bloomington's YouTube channel, accessible right from the city's homepage. That and so much more is online right now at www.ci.bloomington.mn.us. If Facebook or Twitter isn't your thing, sign up for eSubscribe to have updates sent right to your email or cell phone. And be sure to tune in next week for a special year-in review Bloomington Today show, where we'll recap some of our big events that happened in and around Bloomington in 2011. This is Bloomington Today, a presentation of the City of Bloomington's Communications Division. I'm Kaylin Cockerill, wishing you and your families a very happy holiday.